Hello, this is Vitualis the Chess Noob, learning and having fun with chess. This is match 4 of the 2022 Australia Day tournament, and so far I've won my last 3 matches, so maybe 3 out of 8 matches so far. I'm feeling pretty hopeful. I'm playing again Knights beats all, who I played in the first match, but this time I've got the black pieces and they have white. Quick look at the review. As you can see, I did not do well necessarily in this game with my opponent getting a really good lead, and yet somehow I managed to capture the win. Neither of us played particularly accurately in this match. Now on to the analysis. So my opponent led with the Scotch game. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and then the immediate d4. Now, as you know, against the Scotch, what I play is the Steinitz Variation. And the incredible statistic actually is I've played 10 games of the Steinitz Variation, including this game, and I have won every single one. So the Steinitz Variation is definitely an excellent response to the Scotch game if you're allowed to play it at the beginner intermediate level. Now my opponent plays knight c3, which makes a lot of sense, defending that pawn from the attack. And then of course I play bishop to b4, which is now known as the modern defense in the Steinitz. Now my opponent now doesn't play the most accurate moves. The best move is bishop to e2. They decide to take, and here I knew, yep, let's capture. I take, that comes with check. Opponent blocks. And here, I'm going to put the feedback on. I don't necessarily play the most accurate series of moves. So you can see now in this position, black is actually ahead. And this is some of the power of the Steinitz Variation. White often will not find the correct sequence of moves. In fact, I think this move occurs in the Steinitz, I don't know, I think it's about 3% of the time. Now, when I've sort of analysed this game afterwards, the best move here is to do the most forcing moves first. So to take, potentially they damage their structure, and then capture. And then you're sort of material up, you're slightly ahead, you sort of negate some of white's better development, and things are good. Here I decide to take the knight first, and you can see that cedes some of the advantage back to white. Stockfish really wanted me to take this first with check. Nonetheless, it's still not too bad. They short castles. I do have my knight. They bring out the rooks. Now, obviously here, now I need to be careful. Otherwise, that comes with a discovered attack on the queen and a discovered check. So get the king out of there. Short castles. They try to pin. I now move my knight forward, and this was actually a pretty good move. You can see, so moving towards -1 now. They bring it all the way back. I take, that's okay. And again, I think Stockfish reckons I move my queen here, which I thought it was a good idea, lining things up. Maybe in the future that bishop can sort of attack, but Stockfish didn't really like it. So it wanted me to play d5 first. So d5, that is relatively okay for me. So if the queen was still in this square, then it would be defended and opening up the diagonal for the bishop first, aiding with development. So now I know. Take the knight. And here I develop, and of course I'm a little bit cramped. I'm a little bit cramped because moving the obviously this is staring there, but if I sort of move this forward, it seems like potentially I'm weakening some other squares. I wasn't too sure what to do. I just found it quite awkward to develop in this position. So they take anyway, and I thought that was potentially okay. I thought that maybe I have a very sort of powerful attack here, but this attack basically doesn't work. You can see the advantage has gone all the way back to white. It's basically just too easy to refute, and that's what the opponent does. Bishop f3 defends, and I've got nothing. So attack the queen, thinking I could give up another pawn to make an attack, and that was what I was thinking. I was going to take. But this was a serious mistake. And right after I made the move, in fact, I saw, oh no, I have now put myself in a position where their bishop, which is of course defended by the rook, now forks my two high value pieces. So I was a bit upset at myself with that. I was just hoping that they wouldn't see it. And as part of the theme actually in this video, one of the potential weaknesses I think my opponent had was that they weren't very good at seeing the diagonals. So they didn't see that powerful fork. They decide to attack my rook thinking they're ahead, move the rook out of the way, and now they make a serious blunder, game-ending blunder. And again, didn't see that long diagonal, that square, the C8 square, is defended by my bishop. Now, why did they make that move? Now, this is now, if my bishop wasn't there, this is ostensibly quite a good move, because if I capture, then queen, that would be back rank mate. You know, in fact, remember my opponent got back rank mated themselves. If I don't do anything, I can capture, take back, and then again back rank mate with this file being controlled by that rook. However, that was not to be, because that square, as I said, was defended by my bishop. I can imagine my opponent again slapping their forehead with the palm of their hand. You know, this is a terrible position now for white. And my opponent resigned. So I beat knight beats all with both white and black. So I am at least going to come fourth out of the 5 contestants in the final round. And so far I have won 4 out of 4 matches so far. Good game, GG. The big takeaway from this game: never give up, never surrender, and watch out for those diagonals. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.